Good morning. You guys hear me? Ugh. Oops. What's new with you? Let's see, comments. All right. Jim's Journey. What's cooking, Daddy-O? Good morning, Ed Jolly. How are you, my brother? Whoops. K9. Oh, K9. Thanks so much, dude. You're a rock star. It was funny. I was down for the count for a couple days, and got some sort of weird. Every time I go out in the rain, I get sick, and May always tells me you need to shower when we get home. And it's like, yeah, it's all right. I'll just change my clothes. And sure enough, I get sick. And so, but the reason I'm talking to K9 here is there was a guy that commented on, I can't remember which video it was now. I think it was the last one about Money Matters. And he was going off calling me a cheap Charlie and having a trophy wife and all this other shit. And you were sticking up for me. So I appreciate that, brother. And I didn't catch the thread for almost a day. And what I ended up doing was inviting the guy over to the house, because it turns out he lives in Bakong. He's like 15 minutes from me. And I couldn't understand why he had such a weird attitude. But I thought the best thing to do was, most guys that troll you or hate you or come at you one angle, which always happens. I thought the best thing to do was say, when I found out he lived in Bakong, I said, okay, well, why don't you just come on over to the house and meet me? He had watched 2 videos and made some sort of crazy, not crazy, but he made a assumption that he knew all about me and that I fit into this cheap Charlie, whatever that means. I don't know why he'd call me a cheap Charlie, and that I had a trophy wife, and that he was in a much more age-appropriate relationship, and he was this and he was that. So I invited him over, and he declined, because I thought, you know what, if you live here and you'd like to tell me something, just come on over and say it to my face. It's fine. Well, okay, we're in good shape. Thank you, brother. Hello, James. Hear me good. Okay, cool. Old dog early tricks. Yeah. Well, I've been up since it's almost 7 here, and I've been up since 3. Of course, I slept for 2 days. Good morning to everyone. Hey, young lady, how are you? Still acting psycho out there? How's your mango float? Hey, what's going on, John, out there in Vegas? Vegas. Of course. Hello to everybody. Good morning. Let's see, in Miami, I've spent a week with Dean. No shit. I think I saw his advert for. I don't watch Dean's channel. I barely watch anybody's channel. The only one I watched recently was, and I haven't watched him in probably over a year, was Ned Kelly over at My Philippine Dreams, because there was some sort of commotion about YouTubers getting paid, and he read the law about what it meant, because I don't have the patience to read through all that crap, but he does, and he's smarter than me. Of course, everybody is, but he explained it, so I was curious about that topic. So how was your stay in Nicaragua? I should get you here on the stream somehow. That would be fun. Would you like to come on a stream? We could interview you. Maybe not today, but I think we're friends on Facebook, so just hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and we'll throw you on the show if you want to come on. Yeah, sun's just coming up here too. We got a lot of wind, so we had a tree fall into our yard. And then I got a really nice spider web going in the corner of the house. Hey, what's going on, Dad? Let's see. The rain can sometimes cause germs. You know what I think? I always thought it was, I'm with you. I'm going to start listening to Baby May more. I always think it's a bunch of old wives' tales that, but I've reflected back on it. It's like every time we get caught in the rain and we get soaked, most of the times I'll take a shower just because I feel so funky. But the last time we got caught in the rain, which was a couple days ago, it was just kind of a sprinkle, it was just sort of got me damp. And I said, screw it. I'll just change shirts and shorts and we're cool. And she ran in and took a shower and she feels great. And I was down for the count. So I guess it is germs that jump, that come down in the raindrops or splash up from the street, probably, the dirt. Probably acid rain, got caught in Thailand and had to shower immediately as it burned. Wow. Yeah, I guess there is. When I was in Thailand, actually, everybody got sick after a heavy rain that had come from, I think, Cambodia or something like that. And I mean, everybody got sick where I was living in Phuket. And they said it was from all the crap that they picked up in Cambodia, brought new germs over and dropped it on us. So, hey, David. Well, we didn't make friends. He declined my offer. And then he halfway apologized. And then, but I thought, you know what? If a guy's right here in town and he's got an issue, don't hide behind your keyboard. Just, stop by the house sometime. I'm not going to, we're not going to get, there's no violence. It's just, conversation. Yeah, keep your enemies closer. I don't consider the guy an enemy. I just consider him to be one of these fuddy-duddy kind of guys that's got a real strong opinion on it while he's on his computer. And then I said, stop by, bring the old lady. We'll make you lunch. And you can tell us how much you don't like us. Get a little kindness is what I say. Funny shit. Hey, Melbourne, Australia, how are you? Let's see. There was an article in a magazine that said Philippines was the most dangerous country in the world. What the hell? More dangerous than wow. Well, I believe you. I believe you read the article. I believe the article was printed, but I don't know what the hell they're talking about as far as danger. I've been here over 4 years, and biggest danger I've got is driving a scooter. I'm telling you what, I'm the biggest danger to myself. I've never felt threatened or other expats, but I don't know what the hell they're talking about. You do have a trophy wife girlfriend. That is great. Well, thanks for that, Edward. Yeah, but his context was, you know what his problem was? She was in short shorts. And May, if you guys have been following either one of us for very long, you know that she's her own little hippie chick. And she just wears what she wants to wear and buys what she wants to buy. I could care less, You can wear a long dress, it's fine with me. You want to wear short shorts, it's fine with me. I'm her companion, not her boss. Yeah, I am an old timer. That's a fact. Hey, Florida, what's going on, Doug? Let's see. New Mexico. Welcome aboard, Stephen. New York City. Right on. What is going on in America these days, kids? Is it still goofy as far as the inflation and all that stuff? Or is that metaled out? I don't know. Good morning, Doug. Out there in Vancouver. Nice to see you, boss. Australia. How you doing, BNP, Chris? Let's see. 2 more hours of work. Perfect. Well, keep me company, bro. I will. You will listen on the radio? Okay. Oh, cool. All right. Well, hit me up on Facebook. You want to do it now? If you want to do it now, I'll just bring up Facebook and I'll bring up Messenger. And if you say hi to me on Messenger, I can send you a link and we can discuss your little stay over there in Nicaragua with Dean the Dancing Machine. Yeah, she is smart and funny as hell. What are you doing, you crazy person? I gotta come fishing with you sometime. All right, so let everybody say hi to each other here. Let's see. Good morning from North Carolina. Oh, thank you very much, Kyle. Nice to see you, dude. Let's see. Watching the show from Belfast, Northern Ireland. How is Stash Wagner these days? Love the show, Paul. I got to get with Stash. I have been waiting, if you can believe this, guys, I have been waiting for, I think, 4 months for Sabine Tech, the wireless microphone people, to correct the problem. Oof. Anyway, boy, if you could go back in time and change something, it would have been that purchase. They sent me the wrong microphones. And then instead of replacing them, they just sent me 2 more of the wrong ones again. And then I bought the right one, which was 20% off, which they didn't give me. And then they credited me later. And then I had to buy this wire, and then I had to buy this adapter. So I bought the friggin' adapter, and guess what they sent me? The wrong one. And so I think 3 weeks ago, they said, we've reviewed this. Took them 4 days to review the problem. And they said, we're going to send you the right one. And then they sent it out and gave me a tracking thing, and it's still not here. So long-winded answer to Stash was, I was going to introduce Stash and his wife and his kids and have a microphone on everybody. But, and then I was going to be behind the camera and a microphone on me. And so I kind of had, because I wanted him to play the guitar and all that kind of stuff. So I'll get with Stash again whenever I can get the audio figured out. So anyway. Hey, Mike and Renlund, hello to each other. How is David? Hey, Paul, started expat life in Poland from Florida. Hundreds of Filipino girls working in factories, living in factory dorms. I spent the day there today. Well, interesting. So Filipino OFWs are working in Poland in factories. Wonder how they like the cold weather. Good morning, Paul, from Manila via Texas. Enjoying the show and your personal views on your journey here. Well, thank you very much, Paul. She offered her on her. I honored her offer and all night is an honor offer. Okay. I know there's a joke in there, but I'm not getting it. She offered her on her. I honored her offer and all night long it's too much for me. Right on. Good. My assistant got it bad for me. The wrong person to be in love with. Yeah. Hey, Paul from the Philippines, Old Dog Blue Tricks. Great content. Well, thank you very much. I haven't done much content lately. What is wrong with shorts? Holy crap. Get me a burqa. Yeah, that's what I say. You know, she's 35 years old. Come on, boys. And all the girls out here wear shorts. It's nothing new. No mask in Georgia. But I heard that California and Florida, and well, no, it's just California, I think, is requiring masks again. And then we got one case of that, whatever it's called, Delta virus out here. So then after the Delta, what comes, you know? Echo Charlie. And here we are, Biff. Yep. Just you and me, baby. Nurses and purses, right? Little private joke. Hey, Paul from Youngstown, Ohio. Cool. Oh, you're at the airport. Okay, Michael. Got it. Well, let's do it in the future, dude. I'd love to have you on the channel, and we can get your spin on your little visit there in Nicaragua. I think that's awesome. And did he? I think he did a video with you, right? So I'll check it out. I think I saw it somewhere on a feed somewhere. I'm always getting lost amongst Facebook and YouTube and this. Good morning from Texas. Hey, Randy. And good morning to Lynn, too. Let's see. Hi, Paul. I was watching a video from last November. You talked about a guy who retired there on a lump sum at 58 but overspent, was running out of money and had health issues. Whatever happened to him? Boy, I would put that back up, but you can't see me. So I'm going to read it again, then I'm going to answer this question or statement. This comes from Global Greg. Global Greg is saying, hi, Paul. Was watching a video from last November. You talked about a guy who retired there with a lump sum at 58 years old, but overspent, was running out of money and had health issues. Whatever happened to him? I'll tell you what I know. I know that he was living in a compound, if you will, where another friend of mine lives. And he had a girl that was living about an hour away from here that he was madly in love with. And this guy is just the ultimate romantic. And he came here with, I think, $30,000, something to that effect. Don't quote me. Could have been 40. I don't know. I forgot because it was back in November I talked to him. And I haven't seen him since, but I've heard the trail of misery from people that know him. And what he did was he was going out to see this woman, and this woman she was out of Brad Pitt's league. Brad Pitt. She was out of his league. This girl was just so pretty and just so beautiful. I did see a picture of her, a Facebook picture, something. And she was just clanging him for every dime she could get from him. And then he snapped. And my friend that was living in the same compound as his and his girlfriend took him to the hospital a number of times because he was incoherent. He was just saying, Walla Walla, Walla Walla. And what he had done was he had gotten on his motorbike with nothing on but a pair of shorts, if that, or underwear. No shoes, no shirt, no wallet, no nothing. And drove out to this girl's place where she lived with her family and was professing his love for her, but he was almost naked. And the father just told him to leave. And the father had to, I like this spin, the father had to buy him gas to put in the motorbike so they could get rid of him. And then he drove all the way back for an hour with no shoes, no shirt, just shorts, no helmet, no nothing. And they took him to the hospital, and he was diagnosed with having some sort of like an epileptic type of seizure thing, or there was a malfunction in his brain. And they told him, the medical experts told him, you need to get back to America and get yourself dialed in and fixed up, because we can't fix you here. We don't have the facilities and you don't have the money. And so go home. And he refused to go home. And the last I heard is he was living in a native style dwelling, I think with a girl, but I don't know. And I would kind of do a follow-up with him, but when he came over, May told me not to have him in the house again, or asked him not to have him in the house again, just because of his behavior. And that was before all this happened. So anyway, that's what happened to him. And if you do come over here with a finite amount of money, it better be a lot. Or just plan on staying here for a couple of months. But his situation was silly because he came in over here, let's just call it $30,000, and he had 4 years to go until he got his Social Security or whatever he was waiting on. And it's just not enough money and he had the medical thing. And I think my friend ended up paying part of it for him. And they just were a compassionate couple. And I'll be damned if I know where he's at. I had another person ask about him. Someone at Valencia asked me about him. And I just showed him the video. I gave him a link to the video because they had heard something about him also. So God bless him. You know, I mean, you don't wish it. He's really a sweet soul. He's really a nice guy, harmless. His biggest enemy is himself. And he came over here with no real plan and rose-colored glasses and just blew through the money. And I don't know what's going on with him. Long answer, I guess. Let's see. Where did I go? Where was I? Hang on, kids. I'll find it. He's at the airport. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Thanks for your videos, as always. Well, thank you for watching, Global. I'm glad you guys joined me today. It's always nice to chat. I like chatting with you guys. The magazine with global finance, how the USA is now dangerous. I believe that. I don't watch the news really, but I see, snippets here and there. And I see forest fires, which are normal this time of year. And I think the flooding is in Germany. And what else? But just the whole vibe over there seems to be filled with, division. The weather is awesome. It's we have been in this apartment now for over a month, and the only time I turn the aircon on is to intentionally run it to take some of the humidity out of the air, because guys suggested that I should run the aircon for a while every week to prevent black mold. So that made sense. So that's what I do. But we just got our electric bill yesterday, and it was 2,400 pesos, so less than $50 a month. And at my one bedroom, this is a 3-bedroom house, but my 1-bedroom apartment, my bill was over 5,000. So we pay half here on the electric. We have better Wi-Fi, and we have 2 extra rooms and a big ass yard for less money. So this was a good move. We're super happy here. And the weather up here it's only 1 kilometer higher up the mountain than my last place, but we just leave the front door and the back door open, and we have a fan. We have a couple of fans, and sometimes I have the fan on and May turns it off because she gets cold. So it's been cold up here, literally cold, where we've had to turn off the fans and close the windows just to, Let's see. If the troll doesn't like your lifestyle, he should share my story with him. Hopefully he would go into a cardiac arrest. I don't wish any ill will on these guys, but he was just being snarky. And that's okay. And I was thanking Canine because I didn't pick up on it, but Canine did. And then I read the thread, and he kept writing this big, long dissertation. And Canine made a very good point, I thought, which was, why don't you look at, instead of watching 2 of these videos, why don't you watch all of these videos, or majority of them, or more than 2 at least, And then you get a vibe as to what this guy's all about. But he just summed me up because of a picture I think of. Oh, I know what it was. On our house tour video, May was sitting on the motorbike, and her shorts were a little short on that one. But it came out really nice, so screw it, you know. A cute girl on a motorbike in front of a house. What else do you want? Let's see. Hi, Paul from France. Wow, like your point of view on some topics. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah. Hit the like button or you're in trouble. That's right. Get over here to explain yourself. That's funny. Let's see. Your 43-year-old neighbor up the street seems to have her stuff. That was a good interview. Yeah, you know what's fascinating about this is speaking of shorts and speaking of all that kind of malarkey. If May has, I said, this is going to be a social experiment, May. And May brought this woman over, and it was all her idea. And I had this fight. They tried to do that video like 15 times, and they just couldn't make it happen because of the language. And they had a point to get across, but they were both search for words, and then they would freeze up. And so finally she said, will you come help us? So I kind of interviewed the woman prior with May interpreting, and so we finally figured it out, and I kind of helped move it along a little bit. But here's the interesting thing: is that it's like number 10 out of 10 on May's videos, simply because she's a middle-aged woman, and I thought it was awesome. I agree with you. And we wanted to do more of that. And May wants to do more of that, but it's kind of hard to find women to talk to. The young girls always want to come on the show. The older women are a little more modest, a little more reserved. And this lady lives in our neighborhood. She busts a move every day. We have a lot of respect for her. She's a really sweet person. But it was interesting that very few people watched that video. And so I think she's got maybe 1,000 or 2,000 views on it, where if the woman had been 24 instead of 44, my guess she'd have 12,000 views on it. So just kind of speaks to you can draw your own conclusions from that. New York always has a high cost of living, so I guess I'm just numb to any fluctuations. Yeah, I can see where that would happen. What did I see that was in shortage? Somebody was saying that styrofoam, is it styrofoam or just foam products? So they can't make furniture now? Good morning from San Antonio. Well, thanks for joining me, Steve. Hi, Paul. I watched your video. You helped with Riza unpacking a lot of great cooking. Yeah. Goldfinger wrote me. Apparently, there's all kinds of stuff that goes from one box to another box. And there's some kind of water filtration system. And it's kind of like camping gear. And there's actually, they thought it was a car cover, but there's actually a full-size raft. We haven't taken it out yet. And there's kinds of stuff that goes with other stuff. And some of it's gone away already. The hangers, the women just went nuts for the hangers and they took those, but that's supposed to go with the tie-dye kit. So I'm going to try to get a buddy of mine over here later, and we'll try to salvage this thing and put some of the stuff together. And I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to do that. I told May what we should do is get it all organized, and we'll set a little table up outside. And there's stuff on there that I don't want, she doesn't want. Someone will want boots and clothes and things such as that nature. And I says, you know what? Don't give it away. Charge 5 pesos. And that's actually a proven theory, that you'll get rid of it faster if you charge a little something for it instead of try to give it away for free. So we'll see how it goes. But we got to sort through that. May's been slowly but surely going through the boxes. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you didn't see. There's a lot of vitamins and supplements, some great cookware, which you mentioned, yes. Some cutlery, some decent steak knives. What else? Oh, I won't mention the other thing. Absolutely awesome. That will be so much fun, Michael. And if you're in a video with him, I'll watch it. But that's awesome. Michael is if you're just tuning in, was in Nicaragua for a week with Dean. And so we'll have Michael come on and give us his rendition of what happened. Let's see. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks, NBA champions for the first time in over 50 years. A true case of the underdog. Maybe it's the year of the underdog. Underdog new tricks. I love the underdog. Yeah. Remember that cartoon, Underdog? I saw the video with Dean. It was actually good. Okay. Let's see. Buenos dias, Ted Bell. How are you? I love that picture of Bill Murray. Just tell that guy God created free will. Jeepers. That's a point. For me, it's just kill him with kindness, I say. You know, I didn't go back. There's this whole thing that I'm kind of listening to about diminishing your ego. And I like it. It's I don't agree with all of it, but it's an interesting concept. I like philosophical stuff, if you haven't figured that out yet. And so I've been not studying it, but I've just been listening to a couple of different YouTube guys talk about losing your ego. And a lot of them are into meditation, which I'm not. But it really does kind of get away from self. And when you're involved with yourself, it tends to lead to unhappiness in my life. And when you don't worry about tomorrow because it hasn't happened yet. Good morning, Paul, and hi to baby May. Well, thanks for joining us, Manny. Good to be here, Danny. Good to be anywhere. Thanks for being with us. New York, so I guess okay. We did that, I think. After each routine of shots, there will be a new variant. It comes from the ones who get the injection, contrary to what? Because the injections produce more viruses in your body. Yeah, I don't know. It's all very confusing to me. It just seems like it's one thing after another. I'm just waiting for what's going to happen after the Delta thing. And everybody wants to get on with their life, I'm sure. And they keep changing their mind, it seems, about mask, no mask, two mask, a mask. Outside, it's okay. Inside, it's not okay. I don't know. Doesn't seem like anybody knows. Good morning from the great state of Pittsburgh. Yay. My middle son is a major fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Glad to see you, my friend. You have an amazing life there and made a good choice. Well, thank you very much. It is a pretty amazing life, now that you mention it. I was thinking about the story I told about the bad decision, if you will, about not selling my house. And I've reflected back on that, not just recently, but over time. And I thought, you know what, if I hadn't have lost everything, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably still be in the States. So sometimes the lowest points of your life are the most meaningful and lead to, in my life at least, I can reflect on some of the lowest points turning out to be, in the long run, the best things that could happen. It's sort of like when someone who is maybe addicted to something gets thrown in jail for a year, and they just can't get their drug or their alcohol or whatever, and they walk out sober and they don't return to it. So a year in jail for somebody is horrible, and they think it's the worst thing that happened to them. But I've known of two people that have gone in and they were addicted to one thing or another. They had too many DUIs and they went to jail for a year, and they came out clean and sober and stayed that way. So I will happy to tell her. And the girls had a great time opening up those ballot buying boxes. That's on Reese's channel right now. That's doing really good. That video is number 1. Baby May's video is number 10. But she's really happy for her sister. And I haven't done any videos because I've been busy jacking around with them. So, but ballot buying boxes, I'm glad it's over, to be honest with you. Now we got to sort through all this stuff. Hey, Randy. Hey, Danny. Good morning from your friend in Panorama City. Hey, Barry, nice to see you, boss. Absolutely, she does. When's that going to happen anyway? See if we can get her to tell us. Everybody wants to know when if you've got a boyfriend. Is it safe? Is it safe here? Yeah. Let's see, 3 days ago, 10,000 doses of J&J vaccine donated from the U.S. showed up unexpectedly in Tacloban, Leyte province. Massive lines for a shot. Lots of demand for something that's not Sinovac. I don't know the difference between all these vaccines, to be honest with you. And I have some guys that are big-time anti-vaxxers and other guys that, everybody seems to buy it. Hey, thanks for watching, man. I know, the tuna boat. I'll be out there, but, can't go anywhere. I want to go on that tuna boat, but everybody wants to know when you're going to get a boyfriend. So you need to pony up an answer. That's a crazy thing. For your original video, I thought you had a lot more money than 30K. Oh, I thought he had a lot more money than 30K. Yeah, I did too. I thought, because he told me, Greg, he told me I got a lot of money when I first met him. He said, I got a lot of money. I was like, good on you. That was our first meeting. And he went about his business and everything was kind of normal. And then we got together and we did the video. And it was after we did the video, I was outside smoking a cigarette and he came out and we were chatting. And he goes, yeah, he says, I've got 30 grand. And I said, for 4 years? He goes, yeah. So I knew disaster was looming, but it really came on hard and fast for this poor guy. And again, like I say, he's a sweet man. He's a hopeless romantic. He wouldn't harm a fly. He's his own worst enemy, I think, as many of us are. The Army retirement should be kicking in soon. Then I will go there to retire, hopefully meet Riza. Well, I hope you do. I hope you do. I am doing good. Looking for Ritalin. Looking this, a few years, but you need some of that right now, right? Yeah. How about Drew? What do you say to Drew? 30K at 58. I think the cheese already slipped off his cracker. Well, I didn't want to say it, but you did. Or maybe I did say it. It's just not enough, It's enough, I guess, if you take 30,000 and divide it by 48 and don't waver off of that number, never go over it, and then your retirement kicks in, but you have no cushion, no backing, no nothing. And what's a lot of money to one guy is not a lot to the other. That's why I'm a big proponent of income streams. Social Security, a pension, an annuity, I wouldn't be as big a fan of someone renting my house because that could go sideways on you. I wouldn't want to depend on that unless it was just something really rock solid. Um, but income streams, I always knew when I came over here that I was going to get this much money every month, whether I wanted it or not. And I would never be homeless and I'd never go hungry. And that's just a real solid feeling. And then I had my backup money, which got bitten into and has since been replaced. So my own experience over here is that myself and other guys have lived below our means almost every month. And we're able to knock away a couple, $300 a month. And that adds up over time. And then your safety net grows and grows. So, but boy, to come over here with just a finite amount of dough. Now I know another guy that came over and he's got about $250,000. He's got about 250,000. And I know his budget's no more than mine. And so he's fine. I mean, he's going to have, I think he's got a few years to go and then his stuff kicks in. And he's in a position where if he had to, he could go home. Welcome to the team there, kid. How hard is it to get affordable health care when you're healthy but 60, 200 USD or less? I haven't really looked into it, Curtis. I've got I spend like 150 for my Part B or whatever it's called in Medicare. And I always figured if I got really sick that I'd just go home or I'd go to Guam or wherever that took Medicare. I was thinking about it this morning, though. I'm going to sign up for Phil Health when we renew Baby Mays because it pays like 30 to 40% of your hospital bill and all that. So I had a friend in the hospital. The bill was 40,000 pesos and he paid 27. I thought that's a fair savings off of what you pay for Phil Health. And then there is, I keep forgetting the friggin' name of it. Not Blue Cross, but something that guys have. And Pacific Cross, something like that. And it costs about $2,000 a year, I think. It's like traveler's insurance. And it's good not only here, but it would be good back in America for that sake. And that would probably be this thing that I would buy. I would just buy it by the year and get it over with. But I don't have any supplemental insurance. I put away, money every month. And May has access to all my money. So she can get it. If I went into the hospital, we would just pay cash. I can't see anything costing anything that would be above what I have set aside for my safety limit. You know what I mean? I have my cushion and I have like a medical cushion above that. So we've been very fastidious with savings. We're not extravagant at all. And so that's there. Now, a friend of mine went in and had a kidney stone that was too big to they had to remove it. They had to go in and actually remove it surgically. And the bill came to 122,000 pesos. And what is that? That's $2,500 maybe. He was in the hospital, I think, for 3 days. The surgery went on for 3 hours, and he's fine now. But he only had 50,000 on him, and he got into a fight with him about getting out of the hospital. That's very typical. And I said, you should have just called me. I would have brought you some money and got you out, and you could have paid me back. So what they did was they sent him home. He says, my money's at home. And they wouldn't let him leave. And he got into a pissing match with them because he says, well, you want the money, but I don't have it in my pocket. I've got it in my apartment at my house. I can give it to you, but you have to let me leave in order to do that. Well, you're not leaving until the bill's paid. And so that's one of those Mexican standoffs, right? And so finally, and he had a car. And he said, well, fine. He says, have somebody drive me home. And they said, well, none of us have a car. So the long story short is he drove home with one of the security guards and picked up the cash. That's how he got out of the hospital. If you have health care, you're going to most likely, I'm not saying you are because I don't have any, but what I've heard is you pay up front and then you get reimbursed. So you either way, at least here in Dumaguete, I don't know about the rest of the country, but you pay before you leave the hospital. USA is going Venezuela. Yeesh. Hello, Paul and Miss May. Always good to see you on live. Good to see you, Chuck. Glad you're with us, buddy. Hey, good morning, Mr. Ron. Hello, Steel Palm. Let's see, what's she say? I don't need someone yet. I'm happy that I'm single. All right, well, there you have it, boys. Heartbreaker. We'll rename her Heartbreaker. See? I don't know. Watch this. Watch this, Drew. But please? No. Come on. I want to talk to you. No, I'm single. All right, enough of that. If you ever decide to quit smoking, don't waste your money on the patch. I tried it for 3 hours. Keep the thing lit. Good looking. Yeah, good. There you are with Jollibee. Look at Jollibee. Everybody loves Jollibee. Hey, Paul, how goes it? Been watching you for years. No kidding. Thanks for the good advice. Wish you all well and happiness. Well, thank you, Thomas. Yeah, there are definite benefits to that. But does she like to mingle, I guess, is the question. Hey, Paul, all the best to you and me. God bless you both. Thank you, Chris. No one ever needs anyone. All right. Yeah, man, you have a great place now. I love it. Yeah, it's awesome. It's got its quirks. Like there's no plugs in the bathroom. So if you wanted to use a hairdryer or something like that, or a curling iron or whatever, or an electric shaver, not going to happen. So you kind of look at these, you go, what were they thinking? They're really chintzy when the Filipinos build a place. They're really chintzy with the electrical outlets. It's like one per room. And Americans, we want 3 per wall, and one in the ceiling and one on the floor, because we're always plugging crap in. But that's the one thing that I would say is the negative here is the lack of outlets. What else is a negative? Nothing that's not fixable. Let's see. Love the interview with the 43-year-old. She's a jewel, and geez Louise, hope she gets some attention from a great guy or two. Yeah, Biff, thanks for watching that. Nobody else did. But I don't think she really cares. She's actually, that's why I liked her so much, and I thought it was a refreshing interview because she's 43. She looks like she's about 30. Her skin's flawless, and she walks outdoors all day, up and down the road, toting these big, heavy bags of food and drink. And she makes it happen. She busts a move every day, got a great big smile on her face. She wakes up, I think she said at 3 in the morning or 1 in the morning, and works and cooks and prepares the sticky rice and this and that and the other. And she's got a bunch of chickens and 4 dogs, and she's happy. She's a happy camper. She just, she's been lived here for 30 years. I've never seen her place. May's been there, but I've never gone in. I took a smoking joke down. It's all good, buddy. Yeah. There she is, flirting. So I have a rabbit in my garden now. I cannot catch that rascal. I do not want to kill it. So looking at alternatives. Boy, did our garden get smashed. It was not by animals, but by May. I didn't tell you. I don't know if I told you guys this, but May had her peanuts and her corn. We're doing just fine. My watermelons, they're just limpy. They're terrible. I didn't plant them in enough sun. So, okay. I made a new patch out front, though. And I'm going to try that. That's my patch. This one back here is May's patch. But what May did was she went to Valencia Market and she bought a bag of fertilizer. And she'd never used fertilizer before. So she took the granules and she sprinkled them on each plant. And you're supposed to put the granules in water and dilute them and then sprinkle them on the plants. So they died of a drug overdose. They're all dead except for a couple. But she's drying out some new peanuts as we speak. I'm from Australia, got 2032. Oh, yeah, you guys got the games. Good deal. I'm glad. I'm happy for Australia. Picked 6 zucchini. Geez. House tour video, you say? I'm going there now. Yeah, I got a house video tour. It was a month ago that I did it, and it's getting more views than my last video. It's one of those weird videos that just for some reason got off on the algorithm, where most of my stuff gets around 10,000 views. This one's got over 130,000 views. I can't figure out what's so special about that video, but it is what it is. So yeah, check it out. I agree. Jim's train, the neighbor definitely had her stuff together. Yeah. Real nice lady. Very little English. I could see that being a stumbling block, but not impossible. But just very independent, and yet, what's interesting about these women is the hair. In America, it seems like a woman hits a certain age and they cut their hair and they start putting it up and everybody looks like Lucille Ball. But not out here. They all let their hair grow. It's just more feminine. Let's see. Paul, did you decide not to buy a car? Sort of, kind of. Yeah. I actually pulled money out to buy another car after the first debacle. And after looking at it and going back and forth and taking my time, and I had my mechanic look at it, and my mechanic was kind of like, he said it's a good car, but it's got this and that. And the guy that was selling it wanted to debate him. And the guy that was selling it just kind of copped an attitude. And I just sort of felt, I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable with it. It was too old. And it was a good car as far as low miles. It hadn't been cut in half, all that good stuff. It needed a few things fixed on it, which were not deal breakers in and of themselves. But just a 15-year-old car out here, it had a gasket that was leaking a little oil. And I said, it's just a matter of time until something else goes out on it. And the more I talked to the guy, the more he told me about how he replaced the exhaust and he did something to the transmission. And the more he talked, the more he tried to sell it to me, the less excited I got about the car. If he'd just kept his mouth shut, I might have bought it. But that being said, I came to the conclusion that May and I can just rent a car. I'm not at the point where it's too dangerous for me to drive the motorbike. I still got some of my wits left and balance and all that good stuff. So, and I prefer the motorbike. I prefer it in all ways. You can zip in and out without it being dangerous. Parking is a bitch if you go to Dumagetti. I borrowed a couple of guys' cars or used them and hated it just because I got to where I was going and there was nowhere to park. And I ended up circling the block for 10 or 15 minutes. And sometimes I think one time I just blew off going where I was going. And if you go to Robinson's Mall, there's plenty of parking, but not during Christmas. It's like anywhere else. They have your busy times. So I just decided that if we're going to go, in fact, we might do it next week. I got to see about this border thing. I might just rent a car. It's like $25 a day, and just go out to wherever we want to go, and maybe just rent a car for a week, get a weekly rate on it, and we can go somewhere, go for a ride. Because that's really what I wanted it for, was long distance trips. So I decided not to buy a car. I decided just financially, this doesn't make sense. It's a big expenditure. My motto is not buy anything I can't walk away from. And if you buy a car right, you can sell it fairly quickly. But it's one of those things that, it feels like it kind of anchors me. I don't like that feeling. Good morning, George. Always glad to see your beaming face. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Baby May likes baby shorts. She wears them well. Be proud of that. She ain't hurting anybody. That's right. See, I'm probably too old. I don't know. How old are you? I sure wish I could interview like a 90-year-old that was there, and that would be fascinating. Maybe could translate. Yeah, I had a woman that I was going to try to wrangle into that. I see her all the time. I mentioned it one time. And then somebody else did it on their channel, interviewed an older person. So I think that kind of got covered. And but if that ever comes up on my radar, I'm definitely going to do it. Absolutely, positively. I actually go to a place called the Japanese Shrine a lot. And so we kind of, hey, you want to come and say hi?
I'm waiting.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I must say I was excited to hear about Nicaragua. Right now planning Colombia, but it's good to hear from boots on the ground. Please go on with Dean. Yeah. I think our last interview was by far the best. Well, actually, the first one was the best because that's the one that just went off the radar, and we all had a nice laugh. But as far as information and having a good, smooth interview process, the last one was really good because we were able to go back and forth. You guys would ask a question. I'd kept Dean in the green room, if you will, and would bring him out and join the conversation. Car chips are still an issue in the state. Had to reorder a full fleet because the chips couldn't be found from the original cars ordered. Wow. What is the deal with the chips? Is there, I don't know. Hey, Stephen Day, liked Benny's interview. Nothing wrong with it. No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, if we could find 10 to talk to, I think it would be interesting. I'd like to talk to some happily married couples. There's a lot of people that I'd like to do, a lot of things we'd like to showcase, but not everybody's on board with it. Yeah, that's right. You'll have about 65 competitors. She's a hot commodity, that lamb. That's correct. Everybody's got their own pace. Let's see. Love that video. Find out how this woman was making her company did well. It was amazing. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's got, we were looking at it this morning, and maybe it was a little crapped out because it came in so poorly as far as the rankings. But I said, look at the compliments. I mean, look at the comments. They're really nice. And, that balances out. Absolutely. Canine. Oh, it was too funny. And there was more stuff in there related to that. But I think I might save that for a different video or something. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Good morning, Paul. Glad to see you this morning with your Good Morning with the Old Dog show. Hey, how's May's dental situation going? Are your migraines going away? Thank you very much for asking, my friend Gary Berg. You are my hero. And let's see. Gary Berg opened up a restaurant, which is incredible because he's in Africa. And so it's going to promote it, but I don't know what island it's on. So I don't know if it would do any good for me being out here to promote an island. I mean, a restaurant that's way out somewhere else. But to answer your question, she's healed up real good. And the migraines have gone way down since the surgery. I think that her migraines are somewhat tied into stress. I think stress causes a lot of medical issues. So occasionally she'll get stressed out about something, like we all do. And that's usually an onset. And when we first moved in here, about 2 weeks being in here, she was having a lot of stress from, what's it called? Well, it's gossip. And some women were picking on her, and it was really bothering her. So it was that gang mentality of jealousy, right? So she's doing a lot better, buddy. Thank you for asking. And I'm looking forward to 27th. We go back to the doctor. I'm getting my teeth cleaned, and she's going to get the examination. She's got 3 more teeth that need to be get some attention, and then she should be cool for school. Yeah, huh? Yeah. No, that girl was off the hook and knew it and was milking it. Yeah, Reese's box opening was funny, especially the gold pack items. I know. You know, Goldfinger wrote to me and told me that all these poles and stuff go to other things. There's a full-size friggin' boat in there, being raft with oars. And but the life vest, we opened those up first, I think. And so we're trying to figure all this stuff out. And, you know, if he had been shipping it to me intentionally, I'm sure he would have put everything, you know, like one box is tie-dye, one box is a raft, one box is clothes, one box is kitchen utensils, so that it wouldn't be so difficult for me to figure out. But these boxes just fell into my lap because he sent them here for me to hold for him. And then he decided he's not coming here. He's going to stay in Mexico. So he says, I'll just give them to you and do what you want with the stuff. And so I've never seen such an eclectic group of stuff. It's not what a normal Balak Bayan box has. But that's okay. I mean, that's his stuff. And it was his friend's stuff too. So we have to sort it out. We have to work our way through it. And you guys know how I feel about stuff. As soon as it goes away, the better I'll feel. Yeah. Oh, she's much better, bro. The tooth is out. There's no more pain as far as it healing. I think, what's today? In 5 days, we'll go into the dentist. I'm going to get my teeth cleaned while we're there. They're going to give her an exam. And then we'll make an appointment to get her other 3 teeth fixed up. Yeah, Michael, did you end up in the rotation? We're going to get all that information when Michael can come on the program. It really felt like a guy meant well, so I treated him kindly and in a respectful manner, and he came around. Oh, are you talking about the discussion about on the snarky guy? Yeah. I think he was just a cranky old guy. And I don't think he knew what to do when I said, come on over to the house. If he was waiting for me to like go do battle, right? Always take a shower after you get caught in the rain in the Philippines. You know, I'll read this for the guys that are just listening. Always take a shower after you get caught in the rain in the Philippines and after watching Dean on Paul's channel. I've never had anybody on that's had as big effect as Dean. Good morning, Montana. You know what I never understood about trolls? They are like 100K Philippines-related channels or more on YouTube. They didn't even bother to join. Well, yeah, the whole thing about the trolls is, and this guy wasn't really trolling me. He was just making a snarky comment. The true trolls are, I don't understand those guys. I mean, the easy answer is just don't watch it. But I don't understand their whole mentality. I did watch a thing where I think it was like Dr. Phil or someone like Dr. Phil was interviewing a couple that were on social media. I don't know if it was YouTube or not. And his advice was never interact with them. And that's something I've followed through with. I've never responded to them. I don't go and watch their channels. I don't mention their names. I don't give them any credit because that's what they're desiring really is attention. And I guess they just can't come up with their own content. And I don't know, they mystify me. They seem to have in common sort of a teenager type of mentality, an immaturity level, narcissism, I think, runs deep, and real insecurities, and some kind of, I don't know. They just mystify me. I mean, I would never in a million years. I take your advice. If I'm watching someone's channel, and I've watched a few, especially back in the day, that I just found them repugnant. The way they were treating their women or the way they were living their lives. Yeah, I got May runs around in a pair of shorts and people get upset. But these guys or women were really, really exploitive. I just changed the channel. It never even occurred to me to comment, much less dedicate a channel to their channel. So I don't know. It's confusing to me. mRNA vaccines don't work that way. Has Pittsburgh succeeded from Pennsylvania? On the side of the matchbox, it says doesn't stop viruses. That's funny. We just need to be live with CCP virus. Love your interviews. Thank you very much. Let's see. Hey, Jess from LA. Here it is from Global Finance. The Philippines remain the bottom of Global Finance's safest country ranking, where it was in the 2000 and 2017 editions because of relatively high crime rates. Huh. Well, that may be Manila and Cebu or Angeles City or one of those kind of bigger, more raucous kind of places. But I've been to Manila. I've just been to Manila airport, to be honest with you. I spent a last weekend in Angeles City and it felt threatened. I've lived here 4 years. I've never felt threatened. I've been to a couple of other islands. I was even down in southern Mindanao, and I didn't feel threatened, but I was with somebody that kind of kept me away from the stuff. I didn't feel, I don't know. I guess that's their opinion. The thing is, Paul, 64 people died in America from COVID last week. 1,164 died from heart disease yesterday. Yeah, that's a very good point. Why isn't that getting more news? I don't know. The news cycle is set up to keep everybody. I don't watch it because CNN, Fox, all of them, they're not news anymore. They're just opinions, and they're keeping everybody pissed off. It just seems to be their job to keep everybody at odds. When back in the day, you had Walter Cronkite, and he would just tell you about the Apollo space mission, and if there was a forest fire, they'd talk about it. And there wasn't all this division. And I don't know. The morning news is the only thing worth watching. Hello from Delaware. Let's see. High natural disaster risk, financial earthquakes, tsunamis. Poor response to high natural disasters. That's true. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, and poor response. Well, I would agree with the poor response, but as far as they've been some big ass typhoons that have gone through, so I can't argue that. And that's wreaked havoc. What else you got there? The volcanic eruptions. Now that tall volcano was supposed to go off, but I don't know. So I would understand the natural disasters. There was back, I think, in 17 and 19, there was a bunch of not tornadoes. I don't know about tsunamis either, but the hurricanes. Hi, Paul from Canada. 3 provinces, E0 restrictions, British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. That's where I go fishing, Saskatchewan. 99 are unactivated, or the Delta variant. What's coming after the Delta variant? What's next? The corruption is amazing there. They should be ashamed. Where? Here? Neither bird nor plane nor even frog. It's just little old me, underdog. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to turn on a fan. Speaking of fans. I need a little air. Okay, hi, Paul. Get yourself a humidity gauge between 30 and 50% per the experts. I can see myself finding one of those out here. That would have to be an order on Lazada. It's all news. They're learning about the COVID, but people don't trust them if they do nothing. We will be pissed. Yes, Reese's videos are getting better and better each time. I can tell she's getting more comfortable. Yeah, I think Reese's doing a great job with what she's got to work with, especially. That's very authentic, and she's very funny. So Canada's in lockdown. I spent 3 hours in jail when I was 32. Changed my life. I saw the officer a couple months later and shook his hand and thanked him. True story. Changed my life. I agree. I've known a couple of people that have done. You did 3 hours. I know a couple of guys that did a year because there were so many DUIs, and their lives dramatically improved once they got out. And they lost everything, by the way, because when you go to jail, you're not working. Your credit goes to shit. You lose the family in some cases, but sometimes it's that little discipline that you need. If my marriage hadn't fallen apart after 40 years, I would not be here with Ding Dang. A dark time turned into the best time. There we go. Reinforcement. It's a bitch when you're in the middle of it, though, isn't it? When something is really dark and terrible and you're feeling all depressed and crapped out, I don't know. I think some of it has to do with your faith system, too. Let's see, Paul. Baby man has no problem wearing short shorts, and you have no problem wearing shorts on camera. You say that all the healthy men has no problem with her wearing short shorts. I don't have a problem with her wearing short shorts. She has nice legs. What's the big deal? She wears bikinis. Thank you very much. No more soup for you. That's the words they want you to believe. It's the opposite. You're injecting produce. Careful what happens to your immune system. Survivor rate, Novak. Sinovac is the Chinese COVID vaccine. We have jelly beans. Yeah, I bet you the menu is totally different, though. May did a little video touring our neighborhood, and we went down to Valencia Plaza, and they had a little McDonald's deal set up there. And I videotaped the whole thing, and I showed the whole menu of McDonald's, which is totally different from what you get here. And not totally, but 50% of it at least is different than what you can get in the States. And May had to cut it out because there was music playing. And that video got all chopped up because we were walking around. I didn't notice it because I was too busy running my big mouth. while we were talking and meeting people and greeting. But she watched the video and she heard the music, and they'll give us what's called some kind of a strike. I filled out an application to get the vaccine. Yeah. Irene, how are you, Irene? Hello, Paul. How's everything there? And say hi to May from California. To CDO, right on. I shall give her your best. Let's see. I'm vaccinated. If you want to take your life in your own hands, you're free to. Don't cry when you're in the hospital dying. Good luck. Well, my attitude is this, for the record. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't, don't. And I don't judge one way or the other. You might be taking a risk not taking the vaccine. You might be taking a risk because we're all off balance, right? Everybody's confused. I'm confused. I'll speak for myself. I'm confused. Look at the comments that have come through. If you take this will happen. If you don't take it, that'll happen. I mean, there's all these points of view, and there doesn't seem to be one centralized organization that you can rely on anymore. And people keep changing their mind. What about the Fauci guy? He says this one day and he says that the other day. Masks are on, masks are off. So everybody's off balance. I am. Guys out here have gotten the vaccine. I haven't seen anybody get, turn into a frog. I don't think at my age that I would have any ill effects from a vaccine. I would be more concerned. I think the only thing that would really concern me is a pregnant woman taking a vaccine. I think that might be something that would really make me hesitate if May was pregnant, or anyone was pregnant for that matter, and to get that vaccine. That would cause me to pause. Yeah, come on, Dog Pack. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up. Because, you need the exercise. CBS interviewed Fauci Sunday or Monday. They were getting his views on the spike in cases in the southern states and the conclusion a lot of those numbers from non-vaccinated and or anti-vaxxers. There it is. Yeah, that's kind of like, but people should have the right to refuse it, right? But I think it's just so much misinformation out there. I honestly am off balance. I hear 1 minute, if you take this vaccine, it's got this. Somebody said 20% of the people that refuse to take the vaccine refuse it because they think it's got a computer chip in it or some kind of tracking chip in it. Pacific Cross. Thank you, Randy. I can never remember it. But there was a question an hour ago, I imagine, about insurance out here. And I think the best traveler's insurance, I don't own it. I'm not selling it. I'm not promoting it. But from what I've heard, I have a friend that's got it. It would cost him $2,000 a year. And it's good no matter where you go. Not just the Philippines, but you can go to the Philippines, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, and back home. And if you got back home and had a heart attack, you could use your Pacific Cross. So that's what I'm hearing. So I think that would be the best option if someone wanted to have insurance out here. But let me reiterate, you need to have cash in your pocket if you go into one of the hospitals or a credit card. Let's see. Yep, I go with the science. It says virus does not have any one shot to defeat it. There was a vaccine that would have been out a long time ago. Did you experience the SARS in the mid-70s? See, everybody has an opinion. Me and my family choose our faith to God, then vaccine. Well, there you go. There's Irene's opinion. I respect that also. And it's good internationally. Yeah, that's the insurance. We're going from vaccines to insurance here. See? Pacific Cross. Thank you, Chubby. I think $2,000 a month Australia is enough to live. Okay. Paul, I very much enjoyed the video with your 43-year-old neighbor, and I always enjoy your company. Much thanks. Well, thank you, John. Appreciate that. That's interesting is that is one of the least watched videos that May's put up in a long time and one of the most commented on. So I would encourage you guys to watch it. I want to do, I'm going to go back to that. I want to do more of that. The issue is finding them. That's really the problem. There is not one 25-year-old that doesn't want to go on Baby May's channel or my channel or mostly her channel because they always meet a guy off of it. So the 43-year-old I thought was refreshing because she's not looking for a guy. She's not looking for a foreigner. She's not looking for a local. she's just kind of a reflection of reality out here. And I just like to see more of that on all of our channels. Pacific Cross, there we go, has various affordable plans and they are portable, like you said. I've heard a lot of guys like the peso plan. Well, there you go. Thank you, Stephen. See, that's good information. I think that's really good information. Irene, rather God build us to be able to handle challenges, keep your immune system fueled. Man normally tears the body apart rather than work on the immune system. Let's see, I had the same thing done. Kidney stone last year. I'm on a med share plan here where I have to pay up front and get reimbursed. My bill was $20,000 USD. Whew. Yeah, this friend of mine, he had a kidney stone that was so big that there was no way he was going to pass it, and they couldn't ultrasound it, I think he said. And so they had to go in and clamp it and pull that bad boy out. And they did. I think it was, and then they had to put a stent in because wherever it was caught, it had damaged the vein or whatever, the artery, whatever it was that connected whatever to whatever. And you see how medical I am. And it cost him out of pocket, all in, $2,500. Hello, A-Quest. Chubby Cox, most specific required to pay in advance and get reimbursed. Yeah. See, I think it's on both ends. I think it's going to be the insurance company and the hospital are going to want their money up front, and then you submit the bill, and later on you get reimbursed. Hence, always have a safety account. No more mask man. No more. They let go of it. Somebody told me that they're making them wear a mask again. They keep changing their minds. I've been watching your channel for a few months. Well, I appreciate that. My former father-in-law went to Manila in 2016, diabetic hospital, no money. Several phone calls later with billing sent 2,000 so they could release him. He was 66 at the time. Yeah, we had that similar situation with Jason, a friend of mine, that we did a little fundraiser for back in the day. And what a hassle, because his sister sent the bulk of the money. And she kept sending 1,000, and they would take the 1,000, but they would wait 2 days for it to clear because it had been wired. And then we had 2 more days of medical bills to pay, or he had to pay. It was a nightmare. Don't you think it's better to keep some savings in your country bank and do the internet banking on a bank with the fills for your needs, assuming you have already a steady income and savings, of course? Absolutely, that's what I do. My money is saved in the States and stays there. And I just opened up a savings account with May and I, a joint account at the Commerce Bank. And we've yet to go back over there to claim our debit cards. And I've got some more money to deposit in there. So I like the idea of just having some cash here locally that we can get our hands on right away without having to zoom it over. More or less so that May can get her hands on it. I keep trying to think ahead that, the day is going to come where I go into a hospital here at some point in time, and she's going to need cash. And so she's got her own savings account. She'll have access to our joint account. And I just like to have plan A, B, and C available. Because like I said, my friend, he was in the hospital, and he had 50,000 on him. They wanted 122, and he got into a confrontation, just trying to get out of there to go get the money. So it'd be so much simpler just to have me go get it and bring it in. And that's, and if you don't have a significant other over here, I've got friends, fortunately, that would front me the money. You know, I need 100,000. Well, they know I'm good for it. So they would just come down and pay the bill if they had it available to them. And they'd get reimbursed. So that's another thing out here as far as safety is knowing people, having friends, having a circle that you can trust, guys that know your character, you know theirs, and being able to rely on each other. Romex wire may be extremely expensive there. Yeah, that goes back to the other. Let's see. A lot of them young girls make $3 a month. Could learn a lot from her before you don't know her name. Yeah, she makes $12,000 a month. I remember that very succinctly because I asked her, "What do you make a week?" She says, $3,000. And the difference between this woman and everyone else is this woman gets up off her ass and goes and finds business and has developed over time, has developed, if you want to call it a clientele. There's a bunch of workers up and down the road, any road that you go to. They're working either on the sewer, they're working on the wires, they're working on the vegetation. No matter where they're paving a new part, no matter where you go, there are workers, construction workers. And this woman just decided that she would deliver what they like to eat, which was pancakes, bananas, sodas, sticky rice, and something else. And they wait for her now. She's like a catering truck. I was calling her pizza delivery, but it's more like a food truck, that comes by every day at noon and cooks you up food. She's the equivalent of a food truck. And she doesn't just sit, she could sit in front of her house and wait for someone to walk by, and then hopefully that person's hungry and wants to buy some of her sticky rice. But she figured it out. And she ain't lazy, I'll tell you that much. Hey, Brian Dawson from the UK, how are you? China Dave, my brother, how are you? Good to see me live. It's good to be alive. Aloha. Paul, more people would rather tour a house than a 43-year-old woman. Knock it off. Come on now. Some of us only I looked into those, but they were really out of my price range. But those would be good. David Partridge, we appreciate that. Call me a goober, but I will buy a new car when I take it to my grave. No, that's what May and I were talking about. I said, you know what? The smart thing to do is, that's one reason we have this Bank of Commerce deal, is that's kind of our local fund, medical fund, but also a car fund. And May said, you know what? We should just buy a new car. If we're going to buy a car, let's just buy a new one. Warranty, registration, insurance, all that nonsense. And I'm more in favor of buying one that's maybe a year old, but the new car, I have to agree with her. Let's see, they wouldn't let me out of the hospital until I paid the hospital bill. That's right. Broken hip. I had Medicare. They kept me for 30 days and did nothing. Geez. They had me call everyone in the U.S. who ever shook my hand. They wouldn't let you leave out of the hospital until I paid the hospital bill. Broken hip. I had Medicare. They kept me for 30 days and did nothing. Eesh. Oh, they're not an investment. They're a downright expense. There's no investing in a car. I was in the car business. I can promise you, the most expensive drive you'll take is home from the dealership. That's where the car drops off about 30%. But out here, you have to understand there is no Carfax. There is no real DMV. There's no electronic tracing. I could buy a year-old car, and they can roll back stuff here. They've got a way that they can fiddly fart around with the odometer, where in the States they can't. But out here, my mechanic has told me that he knows of vehicles where they've rolled back stuff. So I guess if it comes down to, if I knew the guy that owned a car, and again, I learned my lesson with the cars, have the mechanic inspected. For me, I'd like to take that 30% depreciation and buy a 1-year-old car, but never do you look at a car as an investment. It's an outright expense. It's going to want insurance. It's going to want gas. It's going to want maintenance. It's going to need tires. It's going to take up space, and it's never ending. Don't waste your money on a car. See, here we go. Easier and cheaper in the long run. Rent or take it. I agree. Thank you very much. We've thought it over. And the only reason I'll buy a car in the future with this fund is when I'm unable to drive the scooter, whatever point in time that comes. When my eyes are too bad, my balance is too bad, and it becomes, there's going to be a point where I can no longer drive the scooter, and it's not feasible for me anymore. I don't know when that is. Could be 10 years. And there's nothing wrong with having a little fun and a dream. But I thought it through, and I said, you know what? I'll just rent a friggin' car. Even if I rent it for 2 weeks and it costs me $20 a day, so what? I'll just, make that part of the budget for whatever vacation we're going on. Good morning. How are you? P interviewed an elderly lady, and her story was heart-wrenching. Yeah. I didn't watch that. In fact, I'll tell you privately about that. The neighbor woman living alone, having a job, owning her home, financially independent, not particularly looking for a relationship or marriage. Sounds very much like an American woman in her 40s. That could be possible, but she's not angry at anybody, is I think would be the difference. She's not a feminist or a man hater or given up. I think she's just comfortable with her life. She had a boyfriend, I think May said, a couple of years ago, and it didn't work out. So I take cabs here. Oh, okay. So Mr. Ron doesn't even fool with a bike. Have I ever been to Manila? Can you tell me your impression of the city? I've been to Manila, but I've never stayed there. I went from Manila to Angeles City. It was this big long journey. I should do a video about that. So I drove through it, and I wasn't impressed by anything. It was seemed to have its moments with some high rises, and then very crowded. Saw a lot of shopping malls, but just crowded. It didn't float my boat. Very, big cities don't turn me on. But I spent most of my time at the airport. So I've only driven through Manila one time, and not all of it. And it was 3 years ago, I think. And it was on a bus. So my memory is not that good. Good morning, Paul. Watching you and Negroes Occidental. Nice. Thank you, Francis. I'd like to get out there one day. Well, for years I rented a new car when I wanted to go long distance. I had an old Volkswagen that worked great for daily local driving. I saved big bucks for years. Yeah, I just, the more I think about it, I think that's the route to take on how to get 500,000 subs. Secret agent, are you a YouTuber? It would be fun if you could interview Bud Brown and his wife, Gloria. I'm supposed to do a little special project with Bud Brown that he wants to do. I bet I could get Gloria on the show. Gloria likes me. She won't admit it, but she likes me. And Bud's had Gloria on his channel. But Bud's got this idea he came up with about a week ago. And we've yet to get together on it. In fact, I might call him today just to see if he wants to go get coffee and talk about this great little idea he's got. Let's see, Mr. Ron, my Filipino is 36. I'm 64. My brother's wife, also Filipino, is 40. He is 63, just my opinion. But most guys that are looking are better off with a 35 to 45-year-old Filipina than a 20-something girl. I have a very strong opinion about that. Yeah, you can make that happen. And on that, Biff, I agree with you. I think that there's a big change in people. Well, if I look at myself as a 20-year-old man and a 30-year-old man, there's light years of difference between my maturity. I understand women mature faster than men, but every generation seems to modify my personality, if you will. 10 years old, 20 years old, 30, 40, 50, 60. My personality, my outlook, my morals, the whole thing just sort of, modify, I guess is the best way of putting it. And so I've watched the relationships. I've been with the 23-year-old girls, and they've lasted about 2 days. And it's like, I'm bored out of my skull, even though you're beautiful. And this just isn't going to happen. There's nothing for us to talk about. And until I met May, I couldn't really get. And my first girlfriend before May was 38 years old. So she's in her 40s now, and they're still very beautiful. They're still very attractive. But I just like the level of maturity for myself. I'm not disrespecting the guys that get with a 22 or a 23-year-old. I think, follow your bliss. If you're 65 and she's 25, rock on. If it works for you. Just had a complete teeth clean. Yeah. Let's see. Good morning from Saudi Arabia. Awesome that you're with us, man. Another vlogger recently reported labeled Chick Boys after living there. What do you think? And do you care? Chick Boys. Let's see. Another vlogger recently reported foreigners were labeled Chick Boys after living there a few years. What do you think? And do you care? When I dated, I never asked them, they never asked me, are you a chick boy? But they say, are you looking for a girlfriend? I said, no, I'm looking for a date. I'm looking to get to know you. I'm not looking for a long-term relationship. I'd say no, because I wasn't. But if you want to go out, and I'm not asking you to come home with me, but if you want to go out and have a cup of coffee or lunch or meet up for dinner or have a conversation, and then after that's over with, you go home and I go home, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to get to know you. So would I be labeled as a chick boy? Because I've lived here for a long time. Well, I think the girls that attach themselves to foreigners tend to be the girls that have been with foreigners before. So they kind of look for the guys that are green, not they don't have their boots firmly on the ground yet. So I don't know if they would label me as a chick boy. I mean, if I just told them, if they sit still long enough so you can tell them your story, like I'm telling you. But when I first got here, I had a girlfriend, and then I was single, and then I had a girlfriend. And then if I was single tomorrow, would they label me as a chick boy? I don't think so. I guess a chick boy is someone that just bounces from, in Thailand, we were called butterflies. You went from girl to girl to girl to girl to girl. I think if you're a guy that goes from girl to girl to girl to girl, and that's all you want, you should just say so. When in doubt, tell the truth. Irene Rather, I live in California, and last I heard Los Angeles is going to go back to a mask mandate. Cases are increasing with the Delta variant. I heard the same thing. James, is that the minimum price? I had my teeth cleaning too. Yeah, I think I paid $900 for teeth cleaning. Underdog in tour. I love watching your YouTube channel together with Mark. Stay safe always and continue enjoying your sunset years in this peaceful, clean, friendly place. You're a one lucky expat having baby May. I agree with you, Francis. Thank you very much. Let's see, Gringo Padre. Good morning, Paul and baby May. I have the wild idea of retiring at 62, then live out of my van for a year or two before going to the Phils. Cool. I've one regret that I still do have that I might want to try to fulfill, but it would be so hard getting May over the States. I would love to tour America. There's a lot of America that I haven't seen. And I think as a country, and I'm probably being biased here because I'm American, but I think it's one of the most beautiful countries on the planet with a lot of diversity, from Yellowstone to Joshua Tree. Just so many different topographies and natural wonders and beautiful stuff, not to mention modern things down to totally rural stuff. Just amazing. It's an amazing country. So I would love to tour America. And thank you for that, Gringo. Let's see. I agree. We don't have a lot of the problems that a lot of guys do with 20-somethings. Yeah. So I think it's just a level of maturity. Hi, Paul, your friend Dean having a 5-girl rotation. Would that fly in the Philippines? Not New York second. Not one bit. Never, 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 never. No. Who shall not make your pocket empty? Let's see, guys, let's chip in and give the old dog a Chick Boy Award for his 3-year anniversary. At 66, it's an honor. It's actually 4 years. Who's counting? Ignoring the trolls is absolutely the best thing you can do. Yeah. The reason I responded to the guy on the comment was he wasn't trolling me. He was just making a snarky comment. And he lives here. And so usually the guys are, far away or at home or nowhere near me. So I just asked the guy to come over and meet me in person. And if he wanted to call me, what did he call me? A cheap Charlie. And baby May called a trophy wife. I just said, why don't you just sit down and just tell us that? I'll buy you a cup of coffee here at that. I'll make you a cup of coffee. And May will put out some snacks. And then you can look at me in the face and you can call me those names. And you can bring your wife with you. And you can just say it to our face. How's that grab you? He declined. And then he kind of halfway apologized. How often do you get brownouts and blackouts there? There's no rhyme or freaking reason to it, man. They just come out of nowhere. And if I had to put a number on it, I guess a fair number would be once a week, but it could go from 5 minutes to 5 hours. I don't mind the scheduled brownouts at all because, they're coming. So the last 2 that were scheduled have been canceled because of COVID, which is smart. But when they do schedule them, they usually go off at 6 o'clock in the morning. And they're supposed to run until 5 or 6 at night. They usually crank it back on around 3 or 4. But if you know about it, that means that you can get showered and shaved and all that, take a hot shower the night before and get yourself all squared away there. If I like to have my coffee in the morning, so May will make the coffee the night before, and then we just heat it up after the fact so I can have coffee. It allows you to plan a little bit. And then usually we just bail out and we go somewhere with a group of people. Like last time we had a full-blown brownout, we went to a water park. And I had friends that had kids, and the kids went. We all jumped in the pool. We all tossed the kids around for a few hours. And it was just a nice, normal day. Damn cars. Wait, who is this old chick boy? Paul, love your channel and give my best to May. I'm just here for the comments today. All right, buddy. Yeah, the comments. Trolls are just ugly creatures that no one has come to pull them out from under the bridge. Yeah, there's something that runs. They're wired differently, I think. I mean, there's some guys that are just like me. I'm sarcastic by nature. So if I was to leave a comment, I would probably sound snarky, trying to sound funny in a sarcastic way, and it could be misinterpreted. So I guess that's why I don't leave comments. But I've never felt compelled to. I've never felt compelled to tell somebody that they're a this or they're a that, and make threats. And I mean, back in the day, it seems to have tapered way off. But back when we first started and May first started, there were just horrible guys that would say horrible things to May. And they would make up fake profiles with my name and her name. And it looked like we were making the comments on other people's channels. I mean, that took some effort, right? To take my picture and create a Gmail and create a YouTube channel so that they can pretend that they're me or pretend that they're May. And then it's happened to Mark Thornton. He was talking about that. It's happened to all of us, I guess, that have got channels. And they pretend to be us, and then they make comments. And they're always trying to stir the pot. And what blows my mind is how much energy gets put into it. It's like, man, you got to have something better to do with your day. Old dog. Yeah, it's okay. I got it, buddy. Yeah, you do moderate some channels. You know, I gave up on moderating because if they jump in, it doesn't really bother me anymore. The only time I restrict comments too is with May's channel and her sister's channel. But my channel, I take it all off. I let it fly. Hey, what's going on there in Nashville? JC Watts, good to see you. Paul shouldn't even give them a moment of airtime. However, I think the trolls are jealous because you have a good life and you're happy. That could be the point. The latest thing is they say that I am an e-beggar. In other words, that I'm trying to get money out of people. And I can't put my finger on where they're getting that from. I don't remember asking anybody for money except for someone else. Let's see. Thanks for remembering my restaurant. It's actually doing very well. It looks like a really nice place, man. GJ's Kitchen. It has its own Facebook website. It's about 20 minutes north of General Santos City at Tupai along the National Highway. So there you go, boys and girls. Get out your, I'll leave that up for a minute. If you guys are in that vicinity, go check out this guy's kitchen, GJ's Kitchen. And I've seen the menu, and it looks really awesome. And Gary is an awesome guy. And I think he's in partnership with another gentleman. He's helping the guy out. But it looks really nice. If I was there, I wish it was on my national highway. Let's see, trolls do not make sense. Paul, for the last few months, I have been a moderator. Oh, okay. On a puppy channel. They appear to have some kind of agenda, but are immature and hell-bent on spewing hurtful comments. Yeah, it's more confusing. It used to really trip both me and May out because we weren't ready for it. I had a channel, and it was just like me talking about whatever I'm doing, and all of a sudden people were jumping my ass and calling me pedophile and what else would they call it? Dirty old man and a sex pat and you name it. And then when May came on, they made fun of May's teeth because she's got a space. I think her teeth are cute. And what else they make fun of? They just made fun of the way May speaks. You know. And where I had the issue was not so much with me, but because I'm a foreigner in a foreign land. So you go ahead and I'm a guy, so go ahead and take shots at me. But to take shots at the women, I mean, number one, they're Filipinas, so you're probably breaking the law if you're a foreigner and you're being disrespectful. I don't know the law, but you're breaking the rules, which is be respectful, realize it's not your country, and you should be kind to women, children, elderly people. You don't need to make these remarks that are hurtful or hateful or threatening, especially if you're a foreigner in a foreign land speaking about the indigenous people, which is May or her sister or anybody else. That could get you into trouble, I imagine. Off topic. That's got off topic. But keep that Berkeley filter from your last box. You want to ensure clean city. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about that this morning. Thank you for that. May saw your comment on her channel, and or on Reese's channel, I think it was. May was reviewing it because we've still got Reese's computer, so we're still doing it for her here. And yeah, but we don't know the value of these things or what they are. It looks like camping equipment, so we're just hanging on to it. And then Goldfinger gave me some instructions on how to put some things together. So, what a project. People who think it's an ask you to stop the wearer from getting a virus have mistake the reason to wear one ever. Let's see, Mr. Ron, I am just a super small YouTuber and I got trolls too. Maybe you can block it too. Well, there you go, Ron. You got a new job. Man, Octon Blocks in Nashville, Tennessee. Of the 62 people killed so far this year. TV, it is useless. It really is. It's just useless. I used to get information from TV. Now all I get is freaking opinions. And I don't care if you're watching CNN or if you're watching Fox or MSNBC or friggin' PBS. They all just have an agenda and they're pushing to keep the fight going. And if they'd all shut up and if everybody would just friggin' stop watching them, because before the 24-hour news cycle, if you think about it, America wasn't nearly as divided as it is today. It was actually in the 80s, it was like We Are the World, right? These trolls are like the cancel culture groups. Here in the U.S., only difference or focus is on YouTube channels. Yeah, what makes them focus on YouTube channels? And I wonder if guys, I guess it's all over the world. I guess it's on all subjects. But why guys jump on the Philippines is beyond me. I guess they do it on people vlogging anywhere, right? On any topic. Let's see. People are weird. I belong to a cat rescue organization. Some people split off and started cat fighting with my group, lawyers even. Sheesh. I just want to care for cats. Yeah, man. Yeah. See, you're not even doing anything controversial except helping animals. What's up with that? The news of yesteryear and the news of let the viewer form their opinion. Well, I've come a long way since then. That's a fact. Remember back in the day, they would say that, it was I always saw, it was nonstop, the war in Vietnam. That was always on TV. And they would give us the numbers. Of course, America always killed more Viet Cong. The Watergate scandal, um, the moon landing, a lot of assassinations, JFK, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King. We had that bell tower guy that was shooting people up. And I think the scariest thing that we used to have was the serial killer guys. Those were the guys that were making the news, and they should have kept people vigilant. The Son of Sam guy. But ever since it came into commentary instead of reporting, it's just become a waste of time. And it just feeds, I see it. I'll sit down with two different guys, and one's a CNN guy, and the other guy is a Fox guy, and they're both just programmed to regurgitate what they just heard that morning about whoever. And to me, it's just you're being programmed. So, read a book. I would rather enjoy 30 minutes of watching Dean and Paul any day than watching the fake news. Goddamn right. Me and Dean give you the real deal. Oh, oops, I jumped here. Where did I go? Oh my God. I'm way behind again. See, I talk too much. Where am I at? Hold on, kids. Let's see. Sheesh, I'm behind. How does this happen? You know why? Because I talk too much. That's as far as up as I can go. Raise your rate. If I missed you, I'm sorry. It's as far up as my dealio will go. Hello, great channel you have. We'll be out there in the Philippines for the first time when restrictions are ended. Drinks on me till I hit Thailand. Okay, buddy. I'll have a beer on you tonight. Great channel. Thank you very much. Thailand, great place. Don't travel if you don't take the fake virus vaccine. They tell you that you'll be a good little slave and inject yourself. See, everybody's got an opinion on this virus thing. The folks saying God will protect them from the virus. God helps those who help themselves. Get vaccinated. Global Greg, that's what they want you to believe. Still classifying death as COVID rather than being injected. 60% of those in hospitals are results of how the injected has affected bodies. You see, it's go from 10 people, you'll get 10 different variations of the information. Too many smart people would rebel if they restricted travel. Travel is restricted right now. This has turned into a new show. All of you mentioned possibly of getting life insurance to benefit may have any company there in mind. I was talking about that with my friend Bob the other day. He's checking into some insurance companies. Yeah, I have. I don't have it figured out, but Bob is a lot smarter than me. Where's my thingamajigger? Here we go. That's funny. If you're a U.S. veteran, there's a VA hospital. Yeah, there is. There is a VA hospital in Manila. Yeah. You'll figure it out? Yeah, just come with cash, buddy. Let's see. Hello from Ohio. Really like your blog. Thank you. Plan to come to the Philippines as soon as it opens up. We'd really like to speak at a one-on-one. So you mentioned that was a possibility. I don't know how. Easy peasy, guy. If you're friends on Facebook, Messenger is the easiest way for me to go. So just send me a friend request. And if we're not already friends on Facebook, and then on Messenger, just don't call me, please, right out of the blue. You might catch me in the bathroom or something. So Um, all I ask is that you say, hey, can we hook up and chat? And I'll say, sure. Because I did it the other day with a guy, and I had a really interesting time talking to the guy. It was fun. And he had some questions, which hopefully I was able to answer. And I'm more than happy to do that. I just need to know what the time difference is going to be and what day and time we can set up to chit chat. And then usually try to keep it down to about a half hour. No. I had SARS in '98, caught COVID here in the Philippines last March. No problems with like a cold, just a few days. Been around others with COVID, and I am just fine. Okay. I hope things can settle down so you can get a stateside to see your dad. I lost my mom. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I'm so sorry about your mom, brother. Yeah, I want to get down there to see my family, but and now the conspiracy theories are frothing at the mouth. All you have to do is mention the vaccine. I know we've turned into a news channel, Biff. I've morphed into what I don't like. Too many smart people check themselves with the genocide vaccine. Woo. Pack of went to DC to prevent a quorum. All were jabbed. Okay. See, this is why I have my other secret channel. By the way, I haven't mentioned that for a while. I set up the other channel, and now I have to make some videos. But I'm trying to figure out. I don't think I'm going to show myself. I think I'm just going to be me talking because it is my secret channel, and so I think I'll just videotape something that's like in front of me. I don't know. I haven't come up with the mechanics of it yet. So, and I'll be damned if I can get a picture up. All the mechanics that you got to do on these YouTube channels drive me crazy, especially the pictures. And it's like the background photo. What's it called? Anyway, it'll just have to go without it for a while. I also really like, let's stay on focus here, kids. I also really like the Video Baby May's channel of your neighbor, too. I bet the food she makes is delicious. I loved when you asked her what you do if it rains. She says, I carry an umbrella. I love that, too. Because it was raining, man, like no one's business. And she didn't care. She just got out and worked. You know, if she stopped because it rained, she wouldn't get out half the time. There's so many subtle messages that you can pick up by listening to people like that. Keep your immune system in check. Does May have your family's contact info when the day comes? No, but my friends do. No. I talked to May about it because I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. She's convinced that she's going to die before me and all this sort of stuff. So no, but two different people have all my information. I have plan A and a plan B. So yeah, so if I checked out tomorrow, they know how to get in contact with my family. They know where my money is. They know what the PIN numbers are. They know where the cards are. I just trust them to that degree. What are your thoughts on living off of a 401k when 59 and a half years comes along, budgeting $1,500 to live? I think it's awesome. I live on $1,500 a month. I was thinking this morning about doing a budget video, but those are kind of redundant because my budget never changes, it seems. But for new subscribers, it's healthy, you know, because they like to know about costs. So I might do that this week. Yeah. So what are my thoughts? Well, I guess if you've got money in the 401k that you could draw on until you turn 62, and you had, you know, sufficient money to balance as a safety net, that would be fine. The Civic Cross is a plan in which you get a card, like a credit card, and the hospital gets paid direct. All depends on the premium you choose. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. See, Stephen's got some solid information here for us. Let's see. The word was urethra. You're right. Thank you for that. I bet the 43-year-old isn't doing tick 2. What's tick 2? What's her name, Paul? I forgot her name. I forgot. Well, TikTok. No, she's not doing TikTok. I don't even think she has Facebook, to be honest with you. And I don't think she's looking for a guy. I think May said something to her about Facebook, and the lady said, "No, I just have a phone number," which I got a kick out of. I said, "Yeah, toss her phone number up there, May." The woman doesn't do all the stuff that we're accustomed to, if you will, all the social media and stuff. She's just not into that. She's not her thing. She's got her dogs. She's got her chickens. She's got a carabao. She's got her job. She works. She exercises. I think at night she likes to sit down. She doesn't have a TV. She likes to sit down and listen to some music. Yes, old dog is in the house, and we're trying slowly but surely turn it into a news debate channel here. Let's see. So I'm going to skip all the coronavirus stuff. It's hard to do. Let's see. Can you get an honest? Yeah, I have an honest mechanic. And he told me not to buy cars. He looked at the last car I looked at and was kind of 50-50 on it. So I found one. If you buy a new car, make sure you install a 4-way camera. He goes, I'm moving bank. Yeah, that's definitely you want to have the camera set up. Let's see. I'm guessing you're one of those guys that believe only know the truth and everyone else is stupid. It should be ignorant. Let's see. In Europe, mainly, you better treat yourself. COVID is real. You have 99.987 recover. Greetings from Canada. Well, thank you very much, Ray. Let's see. Hyundai Tucson diesel gets 35 miles plus. I believe diesel costs less in Southeast Asia. I don't think I would want a diesel. Hey, Warren. Thumbs up or half price this week, kids. Hello from Wisconsin. Thank you, Cecil. I like that picture. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate you. We'll do just that. We'll get a bagel with that. Good morning, Paul, from a British man living here in Buchanan. Did I say that right? Greetings to you, my friend. Let's see. Paul, have you looked at just hiring a driver with his own car as needed? I hear from another blogger that could have cost advantages. I imagine that's true. I remember distinctly before I came out here, I would meet with Filipinos. I would encounter, I should say, a lot of Filipinos, and I would have a conversation with them, and I'd say, hey, I'm going to retire in the Philippines. And they all said the same thing. Every single one of them, man, woman, and child, the first words out of their lips were this: Oh, you're going to live like a king. 100% said that. And they said, you're going to have a house, you're going to have a driver, you're going to have a maid, you're going to have this, you're going to have that. And that was from Filipinos that I would meet. They all said the same thing. Now, I haven't found that to be quite true. But I imagine if I bought a car, I could easily find a driver that I could pay. Whether or not a guy with his own car, I'm sure that's available. I just haven't looked into it. But I imagine if you look down the progression scale here, scooter gets to the point to where I just can't handle it anymore. So then, yes, I need to pull the trigger and buy myself a car. And then once I get to the point where I can't drive the car anymore, now I got to hire a guy to do it. In fact, now that I just said that, I can see in my mind's eye a guy that I see who is disabled. He has either Parkinson's or something wrong with him physically, where it's very difficult for him to walk. I do not know what his affliction is. And he has a guy that's with him, I think 24/7, that he's obviously hired. The guy helps him in and out of the car, helps him to the seat, gets him his food, helps him cut up his food. The guy can eat it himself, but all those steps leading up to it are a challenge for this gentleman. Let's see. Bud Brown is funny and pleasant as hell. Love his interviews. Yeah, he's a funny guy. We're going to get together. We were supposed to get together, but as usual, something came up. Let's see. Old dog. That's what they call me. Let's see. Good morning, Frank. Let's see. Jim, how often do Filipinos cheat? I would say less than Americans. Having many relationships with younger girls and older, most definitely older is better, especially long term. I would tend to agree with that. That's my own personal preference. I was 30 years old. I'd certainly have a different opinion. Yeah, Thais use the term butterfly. That's correct. That's correct. Let's see. Learned early, when in Manila, if you want to leave or enter the city, travel in the city between 0100 and 0500. Yeah. So trying to get to work in LA. Thanks for your comment on my post. I agree with you. Young American women are definitely more angry and jaded. If it wasn't for your neighbors' limited English skills, I would definitely chat with her. Sure. Oh, they're very limited too. Very limited. And you know that a lot of May's friends, it takes them 4 or 5 different visits to our place before they're comfortable being around me. And it's not because maybe it's because I'm weird looking, but they're totally intimidated by my language. And they call it nosebleed. I talk and they get a nosebleed. Good morning, Angelica. Yes, it's beautiful. I want to see more before I plant myself. Yeah. No, I think your van idea is a great idea. In fact, I think it's a better plan than mine. Way better. Take a couple of years, get in a van, hump around America, sleep in the van. Every now and then when you feel it's necessary, get a room and take a nice shower. Or they have showers at truck stops and stuff like that. So it's very doable. But I think America is just so beautiful. It's a regret. I mean, I would love to go there and just take a year and drive through my country. Did the dental visit? Yes, it did. Yeah. So far, so good. Thank you for asking, David. Let's see. Been in the Philippines 16 years, married 13 years with 3 kids now. Life is just fine. Just a matter of meeting the right Filipino. I would agree with that. Also check out Smoky Mountain National Park. Yes, absolutely. There's so much beauty out there. Thank you for the $5, my friend. Let's see. More and more restrictions now here in Patia. This is going to last a while until more people get the job. Seems the only solution I get. The jab. Seems. Yeah, you're out there in Thailand. Oh man, I think it just started raining. So much for going out to see Bud Brown. Good morning from Northeast Texas. Well, good morning, Sea Dog. Jeff, doesn't matter how many get the shot. It's about control. Well, I'm on board with you there, but I don't want to make this whole thing about COVID. Let's see. Gringo, 62 is the perfect age to retire. I agree. I retired at 63 and enjoying life. Stay on top of the Social Security staff because they lose original documents requested. Take originals to the office. Well, there you go. Yeah, I pulled the trigger right at 62 on my birthday. In fact, I did a video about that. I did the math. And what was really encouraging was a bunch of people really smart agreed with me. Let's see. Oh, I've got a Toyota motorhome. I travel the United States now. They call me a boondocker. Well, I think that's awesome. That is again, like, in a perfect world, I would have maybe stalled my trip here for a year, and if I had the money and the time and all that other hoopla, which I didn't. But in a perfect world, as I was saying, I would just travel one way or the other and see the country. Maybe not take a year, maybe take 6 months. I don't know how long it would take. Levon Young, $10. Thank you very much, Levon. Is the perfect age. Yeah, it is, Gringo. Is the toilet paper readily available? Yes. Wasn't that weird? I mean, I don't want to get back on this whole COVID debate thing because we're starting to sound like those news channels. But people hoarded toilet paper. I could not for the life of me. I could see hoarding like hamburger, or ice cream, something important. But toilet paper, what's the big deal? What was up with that? Let's see. Did you use Magic? No. Virtual address, definitely. Wish I had done that. Magic Jack, not a bad way to go. My friends got it up the road. Two things that I've done a video about this already, so I won't belabor it, but I did a video about what I shoulda, coulda, woulda, and didn't. And that was two of the things that was on there. The virtual post office box or address, and setting up some kind of phone system. I'm a boondogger, secret agent. I can say you're handsome and May is lovely, and everyone else should mind their own damn business. When I see your face, do I get a coffee? You get a coffee no matter what you say, secret agent. Let's see. Paul, have you heard of the raw facts on YouTube? I have not. But I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube. I watch different stuff on YouTube. I don't know what the raw facts is. But I've been watching stuff about losing your ego. I try to learn something on YouTube. I don't watch a lot of the Philippine stuff. I did watch recently Ned over at Philippine Dreams because he was talking about some kind of law that people were yapping about. And I wanted to get the skinny on that because he's smart and he does a lot of research. And I hadn't watched his channel for over a year. He looks identical to what he looked like 12 years ago, 10 years ago. Let's see, I'm from the UK and had a few trips to the USA in the 70s, most of it hitchhiking. Had some great adventures. Yeah, I remember hitchhiking. Hitchhiking was awesome. Back in the 70s, man, simpler life. Oh, you're never late. We're just getting started. Have I? Yeah, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I better shut it down, huh? She wants to know if that's your business. Paul, if one of those trolls can spark up interest from other trolls by calling you an e-beggar, this makes them feel like they have really done something good. They get off with this type of crap. Yeah, but, back it up with facts, and they can't. So, again, it used to really torque me when it first happened because it just came out of nowhere. And then I just sort of researched it a little bit. And then I guess you get kind of a thick skin to it also. And ignorance is bliss. So I don't tune into any of their stuff or, yeah. 8:45 p.m. in Florida, and it's 9:11 right now here. Well, going to almost 9 p.m. time for me to prep for the rat race tomorrow. Okay, well, take care, buddy. Thank you again for stepping on that thread. Let's see. I made an appointment to apply over the phone to start Social Security payments. After I finished the call, I was hoping to get my payment within 60 days. It was deposited in my account 2 days later. That is a miracle. You must be one of those freaks of nature that got born on like the end of the month. I think there's some sort of dealio where if your birthday rolls on the 30th or the 31st, then you would get it because there's like a waiting period. I can't remember the dynamics. It's been so long since I did it. God bless you. I had to wait 2 months. You seem like a pretty straight shooter. I try to be, James, if you're talking to me. I'd say, dude, if you find yourself needing to be disrespectful to me, nicest damn girl on the planet. You got serious issues. Yeah, I mean, she's super smart. People don't know how smart she is. She's smart in a different kind of way. She's not educated. She had to go to work. So reading, writing, arithmetic ain't her thing. But as far as being intuitive and understanding people and her viewpoint of the world, she's got my respect. People should be kind, period. Amen to that, bro. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's no point. Just be nice to one another. Just try that. Just try everybody being nice to everyone. Hey there, Paul. I'm an outdoorsman. Just curious, is there any wildlife that people hunt for food? Not that I know of. That's an interesting question. But no, fishing. But as far as guys going out and shooting wild game or anything, no. Maybe, but if there is, I haven't seen it or heard of it. Good morning from the Gold Coast. So when should I shut this thing down? There's Canine, opposite of the trolls. You were inspired my lady. Oh, cool. Well, she's going to get trolls, but just tell her to buck up and ignore them. Good for that. I'm really happy. Really, really happy. I think it's a great, great outlet. Riza, so far, since she got monetized, has made $76. And YouTube won't give you any money until you make $100. In other words, they won't let you transfer anything less than $100. But I looked at that today and I was so happy for her. And then the video that we just released of the unboxing might get her another 10 or 15 bucks. And then another, so hopefully by the end of this month, she'll be, at that 100 or over. And then we got to go through the pain of opening her up a bank account. So she has something to transfer too. But that's why I'm happy about that. I think it's great for your girl to get involved in something that might create a little independence for her and a creative outlet and more self-esteem. And I'm amazed at how much May has blossomed, if you will, how brave she's become. it is illegal in the Philippines to badmouth somebody. It can get you arrested. I don't pretend to know the law on that, but I know that it can get you hurt. If somebody, I know of people, I know a little girl that is an orphan. She was on my channel over a year ago, and her parents her house was set on fire because somebody badmouthed, her mother badmouthed a neighbor. And that was such a big deal. Public opinion and what everybody and the neighbors think is just hypersensitive. And the person that she insulted set the house on fire and ended up killing the mother. And then the father ended up killing himself 5 years later. Sad story, right? Paul, in the Philippines, you know the issues are not the foreigners, but the Filipinos. They are helping to improve the quality of life. Jealous Filipinos don't want to be left behind. Oh, yeah. I think you're referring to an earlier statement about May's headaches and the gossipy thing and all that. Yeah. It's called crab mentality. That's what I've been trying to keep remembering. Crab mentality, if you don't know what that means, is if you have a bucket of crabs, I just learned this. You have a bucket of crabs, and one of the crabs is making his way out of the bucket. The other crabs will make sure they pull the successful one back down to the bottom with them. And so that's what happened to May. May reached a level of success, and these other women were trying to do the same thing as her, YouTube channels and this, that, and the other, Facebook, and blah, blah, blah. And so they were trying to drag her down. All they did was give her a headache. Yeah, I'm still happy. I really am happy. That really, honest to God, touches me. Honest engine. It really does. That's cool. That's the stuff I like. That makes it all worthwhile. If you're real, that's why, and that's great. Thank you, James. Major networks, I bet they are. I bet they are. Well, people are fed up with being fed up. And how much crap can you listen to? I mean, argue about this, argue about this one, argue about that one. Cops are bad. Everyone's a friggin' racist. And none of it's true. None of it's true, especially the racism crap. Real racism happens in private. It's that guy at the bar that leans over and says, hey, that's racism. If it's out in the open, people are saying things, it's an opinion. I think the real racism is economic. I think that's the great divide. It's not about color. It's not about religion. It's not about ethnicity or religion. People are going to clash on those to some degree. But the real racism is economic division. And then if you're speaking of the bigot racism, that happens privately in the locker room when the other guy just left. I must confess, I like young Filipino women. That's a good change of topic. I am 2 years older than my Filipino wife. That's the way I roll. I like the young ones. God bless you. I'm 2 years older. Thank you very much, Douglas. All right, kids, I'm going to get out of here. Let's see. You have the right idea. Your channel is great. It's your life, and knowing you get one shot. Always be happy. That's right. Thank you. I don't know about my channel being great, but it is one shot. And when in doubt, tell the truth. Just be yourself. And it prevails, right? My ex-wife is 8 years older. Well, there you go, Mr. Ron. So I'm probably missing the same people here, huh? But at some point in time, I got to go. Well, this one says, never make yourself more valuable dead than alive. That would mean I would have a distrust for May, and I don't. I just want to make sure I do the right thing. Let's see. Hey, you want to come over and say hi? Huh?
Not feeling okay.
Why? What's wrong with you? I'm talking to May. What's wrong with you? You feel fine. Don't start that. May was out all day yesterday because I was sick. She had to take a jeepney, a trike. What else did you do? You had to wait in line. She came lumping in yesterday. But she woke up all froggy and frisky today. You look great, baby May. Don't be bullshitting me that you don't feel good.
I'm not.
You're not what?
I'm not feeling good.
Oh, you feel fine. Don't start. Sorry, guys. I had to talk to May.
Tell the old people hi.
Okay. Why don't you come over and say hi to her real fast?
Next time.
Next time, my ass. I'm sorry, I'm skipping stuff through this. Yeah, that's true. Anytime there's something the vaccine, the boys will fight. I know, but it turns into like the what I'm talking about. We don't, that's why I turn off the news, because everybody's just got one's for it, one's against it, and everyone's confused. Let's see. Let's see. Would you please share info about life insurance companies there after you sort it out? Sure. Yeah. Anything like that ever comes up, I always try to include it. Let's see. On your secret cam, we'll do a board cutout of you. I actually have I do have a picture up, but it's not of me, and it's of an animal. And the background, what's it called, baby May? I'm trying to put up on the channel art on the YouTube channel.
Chicken?
No. What's it called?
Dog?
No, never mind. Yeah.
That's your channel?
No. Don't say anything.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's my secret channel. You're not doing a very good job of keeping it secret over there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to name it. Let's see. I can't wait to check out your secret channel. Better call Paul. I have an idea for a picture. You can put up 3 monkeys. So you know you're here to speak to people. I actually tried to put a monkey up there, but I think it was copyrighted or something. And the issue I'm having is that you have to. I don't have very many photos on this computer. I've never plugged my phone into this thing. I'm waiting for the IT person to come over to help Riza, and that'll be one of his or her chores, because whenever I do that, my photos go off in Never Neverland. And the hassle that I have with YouTube is I think you have to use another. I think what we did last time, we used a website called Canva, and it will resize the photo. They're real picky about the size. They've got a size for TV, a size for mobile devices, and the background photo that I have now with the dog and the hoops and May and the motorcycle and David Bowie and the chicken, and that took over a month just to get that picture put together with all the components that we had, and then it took another month to get it uploaded. I like them apples, because it had to keep getting resized. It's a pain in the ass. But my secret channel, I'm getting very, very excited about. It should be up and running next month. All right. So my neighbor is wholesome and sweet. Thank you. She certainly is. No VA hospital in the Philippines. There's a clinic at the embassy in Emerita. I thought there was something in Manila. They're not only, but I'm not military, so selfish me, I don't know. Another remarkable here, Paul, but thank you, and you're very much appreciated. Well, thank you very much, Matthew. That's awesome. Let's see. Can I live modestly on $1,800 a month? I live on $1,500. So if you want Jim, there's a couple of videos where I tour my house. I've got a couple of budget videos that I've done. You don't have to watch all my stuff. You can just scroll through my playlist if you're interested, or anybody else's for that matter. And you can take a tour of my house. I've got tours of my old places. All three of my apartments, two of my apartments in this one house, I have videos about. And then I've got, I don't know how many budget videos, 3 or 4, 5. And they all say the same thing. So I kind of quit talking about them. Let's see, what would be the best airline to use coming from Atlanta? I'm wanting a cheap ticket to get there. Don't know. I'm having the faintest idea, bro. Skyscanner, I think, is what a lot of guys use. Hey, Paul, just so you know, you're up against the Biden town hall on CNN. I bet you have more viewers. Well, I got 250. I'm having my Joe Biden moments. I got to pass through a bunch of stuff here, guys. Let's see. I have a coffee question. There you go. Right up my alley. This one I can answer with authority. I think you have a coffee maker. Yes. How hard, expensive is it to get the coffee? Do you have to grind your own? Very simple. We just bought a new coffee maker yesterday, or May did. I was home in bed. But she went down to Hypermart, bought all the groceries, and bought a new coffee maker. Because we have one of those, we just bought a new coffee maker a month ago when we moved in. It's perfectly fine. May was washing the glass, and it broke. It shattered in her hand. Gratefully, she didn't get cut. And she wouldn't do anything outrageous. It's just cheap Chinese crap, you know? Just blew up. So we couldn't find a replacement pot. So she bought a new coffee maker yesterday, but she got stainless steel. I told you she was smart. And coffee's real simple to buy. It's at Hypermart, and there's a couple other places that sell coffee. And you can either choose to grind your own, or it's pre-ground. So I'm going to blast through a bunch of people here. I am sorry, but I got to quit sometime. And I try to get to people that haven't had an opportunity to say anything. Let's see. Danny says it will be nice to have a live stream with you and Grandpa Vlogger. I've seen that guy before. He's got a good little channel, but I doubt he'd want to talk to me. All right, signing off, China Dave, my boss, my buddy. Glad you made it down till Tuesday. Love you, brother and family. Got to go. Bless you all. Blessings to you too, buddy. Let's see. Yeah, here's good sage advice. Per SSA, you should apply 3 months before your retirement age. Yeah, better early than late. Let's see. Let's see. Robert says, nice show. Love your wisdom. How expensive is electricity in the Philippines? Is air conditioning required for living quarters? Electricity is relatively expensive out here. My electric bill last month I got yesterday was $50. At the previous place, it was $100. So half here at this house, just because of its location and the fact that we got a lot of shade trees around it. A lot of places don't have aircon. We have aircon, but it's not the whiz bang kind. But we rarely use it. So if you have an inefficient air conditioning hookup in a hot part of town, you could get up to $150 a month on your aircon and never really get cool. I have a friend right now that's rented a new place, doesn't have any shade. The windows aren't treated, and he's got an air conditioner on 24 hours a day, and he says it never gets cool, and he's just going to move. No cure, and it's cost him a bunch of money. Hey, good morning. I shall. Thanks for joining in, Ellen. Here we go. My creepy laugh. Let's see, we got a new one here. Bubs. I can't wait for things to open up so the Filipino wife and I can come visit good people like you. Well, we hope you can too. We like meeting new people. Let's see. David Bear. I've personally witnessed Paul help get so many YouTubers' channels grow. Paul, you become the Philippines YouTube grandfather. You are someone everyone can look up to, ever a younger man like me. Well, thank you very much, my friend. It's called being selfish. Let's see. I want to get through this. I got to say goodbye. I know I always say that. I'm sorry I'm missing a bunch of people. Cheers, Cherry. Florida Vlog. I don't think she's been on. Hello to all. Finish prepping for bed. Name your new channel Off the Chain. Yeah. Maybe you guys can help me name my secret channel, because I want to do a channel that has nothing to do with the Philippines. And if you want to go, guys want to go sideways about COVID, you can. If you want to talk about politics, you can. Religion, money, whatever. Anything but the Philippines. Let's see. All right. Thanks for the coffee answer. I was worried it would be hard to find. I have my black brother. You and I are cut from the same quilt. All right. Good life. Have a great day, and God bless. Same to you. Thank you. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. I'm sure I always do. Anyway. Let's see. Red Oregon Manila pick wanting clovers to watch what they post. Clovers. Vloggers, maybe? Vloggers to watch what they post. Yeah, you shouldn't be any anti-government stuff. And you can't sell products like you can't sell. I don't think you can do. I guess Jollibee. You can't advertise for them without having the right permits and licenses and stuff like that. Yeah, super. Yeah, I tell May shut up. All right, we'll end with this. Really like the 40-year-old lady. Much respect for her. Me too. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's on Today with Baby May. To interview with a 43-year-old neighbor woman. A little different from what May usually does with all the young little chickas, which was refreshing for everyone, I think, and May. And so, anyway, I will see you guys next time. I apologize again for missing comments. I know I get long-winded, and I tried to get everybody in. So I will see you guys next video. Be nice to one another, please. Okay, it's a good try.